Hey friends, today we are checking in to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort and I am so excited. This is my first time staying here and I always wanted to make a video showing you around the resort. We're gonna eat at all of the food spots, check out all the amenities and give you a full resort tour. So we're gonna hang out by the beach, ride the Skyliner and have a beautiful Caribbean beach kind of day. Anywho's, let's go do this. Well, it's another hot day here in Florida. Temperatures are in the high 90s, but it says it feels like it's 105 out. And I love how big this resort is. Take a look at the map here. We're going to be staying in Aruba, which is right here next to the Skyliner. But take a look at all the different buildings you can stay at. You have Trinidad over here, Jamaica, and they actually have another Skyliner entrance. They have two of them, but it's so cool how it just goes all around the lake. And then you have Old Port Royale right in the center. That's where all the dining, shopping, and recreation is. And I just want to do a little tour around and show you the best that Disney's Caribbean Beach has to offer. I don't know if I'm supposed to say Caribbean or Caribbean, so I'm probably gonna say them both, but Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort is considered a moderate Disney resort, and the room tonight cost me $205, but it has so many amazing amenities. You have access to the Skyliner, a whole bunch of cool restaurants with Caribbean-inspired food like Sebastian's Bistro, and they even have a banana Cabana bar that I wanna check out later. And I'm just excited to be here. My family went back to Pennsylvania yesterday and I didn't want to sit in the house being all depressed, so I decided to go on out and have a little staycation. So here we are. I kind of like staying over in the Aruba section. Each area of the resort has a nice little beach, but this one is directly underneath the Skyliner. So you can just sit in one of those hammocks, look up and watch the Skyliner go by. And each area also has their own quiet pool, so that makes it fun. But they do have a big pool at the center at Old Port Royale that I want to go check out because that's the one that has the water slide. Right now, I think I'm going to make my way over to my room so I can give you guys a little fancy room tour. I can't believe I've never stayed here before. I've come and done resort and restaurant reviews here, but I've never actually stayed in any of the rooms. And I can tell you right now, a big tip is to ask for a room next to the Skyliner if you plan on using the Skyliner a lot, because I showed you on the map how massive this resort is, and you have to get around by bus. Like if you're down in Trinidad, it'll take you a while to actually walk up to like the check-in area. So try to ask for a room that's probably where you're going to spend the most amount of time. I'm happy we're right next to the Skyliner, and we can walk to Riviera if we want to and check out their food, but I think today we're just going to stick in Caribbean Beach. So now on to the room tour. On to the room tour. And here is our room for the night, and I'm excited because it's on the first floor. It's a little corner room, so we got an extra window. I asked for a king-size bed, and I want to show you guys around a little bit before I get settled in. It's so nice in here, and I love the music that they have playing. Look at this. A nice cozy Caribbean time. Oh, look, they actually put a little hidden Mickey with the towels. Aw, and a welcome. Welcome to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. Welcome to the islands. I love that. I love the music, like I said. Here's what I was talking about with the corner spot. We have two windows. I like the curtains, a nice little dining area here. And normally you can get this with like two queen-size bed, but I wanted to get the king-size bed, so I got extra like room to walk around and kind of just enjoy. Over here's where they probably have the fridge. Got the fridge underneath the TV. Very fancy. A nice sit-down area here with some artwork on top. I like this room. It's giving me nice cozy vibes. The bathroom though, it does look a little dated. It's got the tub. I know I love a stand-up shower, so they'll probably do that eventually. But it's a very nice room, a nice moderate Disney resort room. I think I like it. One thing I noticed though, there's not like much Disney inside the room. Like, you go to some Disney resorts and you have hidden Mickeys or cool Disney artwork on the walls. Everything here is just basically Caribbean. I've been looking for like a hidden Mickey in the curtains or the lights, but I haven't seen anything yet. So I think it's more geared to like an immersive, like, experience. You're at the islands and you feel like you're at the islands. I love the little pineapple table they got here, but like I said, I really haven't seen anything Disney. Everything's basically just Caribbean inspired. The lights, the little curtains over here. I bet you there's a hidden Mickey somewhere in here. I just can't see it, Maybe it's in the bubbles. Oh, pop, 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 pop. I see it right here. Well, I don't know if it counts because I don't know. I think the Mickeys have to touch. Either way, like I said, it's very cozy accommodations. Now I'm going to get unpacked and get all settled in, and then we're gonna go out and I'm gonna show you around the resort. Check out the pool area, maybe go for a dip, hang out on a hammock, lots of cool stuff. One thing I want to say about this room is it has very cold air conditioning and it has a ceiling fan, so this might be the coolest Disney room I've ever stayed in. I feel no heat, no sweat. I think I'm gonna make my way over to Old Port Royale and check out the lobby and maybe get something to eat at their central market. We have dining reservations at Sebastian's Bistro later on tonight, and that's a Little Mermaid themed restaurant, and I'm excited. I love the food there, but I think before that, maybe I just want to sit down on one of the hammocks and relax a little bit, stare up at the Skyliner. Not that one. That one looks like it's fallen over, and I have a history of falling out of these hammocks, so I gotta be a little careful. I'm gonna try to do this as graceful as possible, but not guaranteeing anything. Oh, oh. Oh, there we go. That's the Caribbean beach I want to feel. I'll be honest, I wasn't hanging out on that hammock very long. It is way too hot out right now. Maybe later on during the sunset. But the most important thing is I didn't fall off. But now I want to move along and, like I said, show you more of the resort. But now we made our way over to Caribbean Cay. This is a nice little island that is in the middle of the lake, and you can actually cross it and get to the other side. And they have a bunch of little lounge chairs and I think a playground, and they do movie under the stars over here. It's very fun. I actually like this area the most. It's very relaxing and it's a good spot to just hang out and, chill a little bit. This island is definitely one of those spots I love to come and drink my morning coffee. It's very peaceful, very relaxing, and it's got a lot of like cool little seats and nooks to sit down and just take in the views. This right here is one of my favorite areas because you get to walk down to the water, and they have little tiny like areas with some comfy cozy chairs where you can just sit down and relax. Look how beautiful and peaceful it is here. That's one thing I can tell you about this resort. Because it's so large, all of the people are kind of spread out and it doesn't look overcrowded or anything. So you have lots of cool spots like this where you can, just get away. Because you spend most of the time in the parks where it's all like hustle bustle. You want to come back to your resort and relax a little bit. Ooh, and there's the main pool right in front of us. It's got such an awesome water slide and a really cool theming. So we're going to go for a dip later on. Like I mentioned, I want to grab some lunch, and I love how they have food spots all around the resort. You have the Spyglass Grill over by Trinidad. You have the main lobby in the Central Market over here where I think we'll grab something. Sebastian's Bistro, and even where we're staying in Aruba, you can just walk to the Riviera Resort. It's just as close as the main lobby. So at least everything is spread out a little bit. And we have made it to Old Port Royale. This is the check-in area in the main lobby. It's very clean and it smells like coconuts and pineapples. And I think they recently redid the floors in here. And plus they have a little gift shop and a quick service location right on over here. I think it's called the Centertown Market. And then they even have like a little snack stand. And this is the Calypso Trading Post. This is where they sell some Caribbean beach merchandise merchandise and things you can find in the parks. I like that they have their own special merchandise. They have hats, ears, lounge flies, a little bit of everything. And I think we're gonna grab something to eat from the Centertown market over here. They have a big variety of different types of food. And then maybe tomorrow we'll go to Spyglass Grill to get breakfast. I think I want some ribs. The Centertown market has a big selection of all different types of food. They've got fish tacos, chicken bowls, ribs, and I think I'm gonna get the ribs. They're like honey pineapple ribs, and it kind of sounds interesting. And here it is, the honey pineapple ribs. It comes with a nice little vegetable medley and a side of rice. And I'm excited. I don't think I've ever had the ribs here. I went outside and found a nice little spot next to the hammocks. And I figured I'd just enjoy some island ribs on the island. After we eat our ribs, I think I'll head back to the room, digest a little bit, and then go hang out at one of the pools and check out the water slides. We have a little time before our dinner reservation at Sebastian's Bistro later on tonight. And plus, I want to ride the Skyliner. Like I said, I want to do all the cool things that you can do at this resort. And this looks pretty amazing. And it was only like $14.99, which is shocking. And I love that it has carrots. I love carrots. I love carrots and broccoli and ribs. What a combination. I thought the ribs were going to be like a honey barbecue glazed, but it looks like it's dry rubbed on there, and then they cook pineapple on top. So I brought a fork, but I think I just might pick them up and eat them off the bone. It looks like you get just about 3 bones, but I can't complain. Like I said, it was only like $14.99, so let's dive on in. Let's get to the rib business. The ribs kind of have a sweet taste to them, and as I was sitting here eating them, I was like, why am I sitting on that hammock over there? I should be laying on a hammock eating ribs off the bone. That's the best way to do it. Now this is how you eat ribs the proper Caribbean way. Overall, very delicious and definitely worth the $14.99. And take a look at this. As I was sitting here, I noticed they've got cannons along the water. That's kind of cool. I mean, I know they're not real cannons, but they're probably cool to take photos at. All right, enough of the rib business. Let's get back to the room, put on our swim trunks, and go for a little dip in the pool. After we digest a little bit. You know, you're not supposed to swim after you eat, so I gotta give a little time to let these ribs work their way in. This is Caribbean Cay, the island I was showing you before, and I wanted to show you guys the playground that I was talking about. It's a nice little playground. It's good for the kids, but it looks like somebody lost their Bass Pro Shop hat. Not the Bass Pro Shop hat. And also, I like these little stone alligators they got in the ground. Very cool. I'm glad that I'm doing a resort stay today because it would have been hard to go out in the parks. Like now that I live here in Florida for like almost a decade, over a decade now, when it's really hot like this, we kind of treat it like the winters up north. You just go from AC to AC like you would go from heat to heat. So I'm kind of happy it's like a little resort staycation because now we can go back to the room and cool off and then, you know, head to the pool. As I make my way back to my room, I just wanted to point out how cozy it is walking around the different buildings. I love the different colors depending on where you're staying. Arubia is this like nice pink magenta. Is that right? I don't even know actually. Oh, and here's the pool. Like I said, they all have their quiet pool, but I want to go to the big pool, you know, the one with the water slides. These ones are just, you know, your standard like, you know, square pools. I don't even think they have hot tubs here. There's people in there, so I don't want to show you right now, but I don't think they do. Only the deluxe resorts have hot tubs. Now I got my swim trunks on and it's time to head to the pool. And I'm gonna try to film the water slide. I didn't bring my GoPro, so I'm gonna use my phone. And I hope it doesn't get submerged in water. I hear iPhones are waterproof, but that doesn't mean I don't think I can just like dunk it in the water. We'll see how it comes out. And then we're gonna come back and get ready for dinner and hang out and go ride the Skyliner. And just like I said, just keep on having a nice little cozy Caribbean day. It honestly looks like there's a couple of water slides at this pool. You got the big water slide right over there in the sand castle. They got a splash pad on the other side here. And then another mini slide. So I think we're gonna head on in, go for a little dip. We're gonna dip our dogs in. I already hopped in the pool and the water's nice and warm, but now I want to make my way to one of the water slides. I want to go down a water slide. Take a look at how cool this is. You can actually walk up inside the sandcastle. They have stairs and pathways that take you up and down. And this one doesn't have a water slide, but it does have a really cool view when you get to the top here. I didn't even know they had more than one water slide here. Here's the other water slide. This is like a smaller one. And then the bigger water slide's over there. I can't wait to go down that one. But this is a beautiful pool. And it's actually huge. We made it to the top of the water slide. We gotta wait for the light to go green for us to hop in. I'm kind of scared, but I'm excited at the same time. I hope my phone doesn't get ruined. Here we go. Oh boy. It's dark. The water slide was a lot of fun, and the phone made it out alive. I held it up over the water when I got down, and I don't think any water got in it. But I didn't want to show you guys too much of the pool because there's people swimming in there, but I had a lot of fun in there. Now I want to go hang out, maybe grab a drink at the Cabana pool bar. I think that's it, or maybe it's Cabana Banana. I don't know, but they got a very fancy banana-themed pool bar, so I want to grab a little cocktail and hang out and just enjoy the weather because it's starting to cool down a little bit. Right next to the lighthouse, you have Sebastian's Bistro. This is the restaurant we're going to be dining at later on tonight. And I love the color of this restaurant. And like I said, it's Little Mermaid themed. Well, it's Sebastian themed. And on the other side, they got the Banana Cabana bar. We'll figure out what the name of it is. It's like a cozy little spot. Sorry, my Crocs are probably making that wet noise. Oh, and they even have blinds to block the sun. Because it probably gets very sunny here, you know? But look at it in here. Very fancy. I got a spot at the bar, and I love the artwork that's in here. So I figured we'd look over the menu and maybe get ourselves a little drink, a little frozen drink. It's the Banana Cabana, and they got a couple featured cocktails and frozen drinks, along with some food, some island favorites, Banana Cabana burger. They've got coconut shrimp, a lot of really good things. I got myself a nice fancy frosé. I wanted a nice frozen drink today. Like I said, it's hot out, and this is going to be nice and refreshing. Oh, yeah. Delicious. I was sipping my frosé at the bar, but I couldn't resist coming back and hanging out in the hammock a little bit. This is the one thing I was probably most excited for when I was coming to stay here. Just to relax, swing in the hammock, and I had to experience it with the frosé in my hand. Seriously, this is the life. Nice and relaxing. And take a look at my view. I moved back down onto the island so I can hang out in the chairs here. They got a nice little cozy area. They got a couple of them, like I said. And I just like sitting here, drinking my drink, just hanging out, watching the sunset. I don't want to get up. I can sit here all day, but we got to go back to the room so we can get ready for our dinner reservation at Sebastian's Bistro. And I got to put my Little Mermaid Roosevelt shirt back on. I picked that shirt out because I knew we were going to Sebastian's tonight, so I want to wear it as we have dinner. But yeah, this is cozy. This is so relaxing. I like this little staycation. Now it's time for dinner at Sebastian's Bistro, and I wanted to show you guys the menu. They actually do family style here, where it's $39 for adults, $21 for children, and they bring everything out to the table. You get some buttery house-baked pull-apart rolls, a spicy necklace salad, oven-roasted chicken, slow-cooked mojo pork, chili rub beef, baked fish, rice, beans, seasonal vegetables. But the thing I love the most is this coconut pineapple bread pudding. It's almost like ohana. In fact, some people say it's better than ohana, and I'm excited to eat. This isn't my first time dining at Sebastian's Bistro, but I did notice that the menu has changed since the last time I ate here, so that's something good to look forward to. And if you ever do plan on coming here, I highly recommend you guys get reservations. They do walk-ups, but it's pretty busy here. There's a lot of people just waiting outside for their table to actually get called. I was hoping to get here during the daylight, but watching the sunset, that's kind of nice. I like it. Look at how beautiful it is. And I love that the restaurant itself has all these windows, so when you're in there, you actually get this beautiful sunset actually peeking through the windows. It's seriously such a nice night out. We made it to the table, and I noticed that they actually do enhancements where you pay an extra $10 and you can get fried coconut shrimp, or for $13 you can get a crab and seafood cake. And I went with the fried coconut shrimp. And then also, if there's something on the menu that you don't like the family style, they call it the Taste of the Caribbean, they do offer kids items. You get chicken strips and french fries, or mac and cheese and fries. But I think they'll be bringing out the dinner rolls and the salad soon. Here is a look at the dinner rolls, and they give you a little Mickey Parmesan like cookie, and it comes with guava butter and then another sauce. But these are just so delicious, and they're pull-apart rolls. And then you get a salad also. I don't really like much of the salad here. I'll probably eat a lot of the rolls, and they give you a lot actually. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna dive into the rolls, and I might try this guava butter. Look at these little pull-apart rolls. I love that. And I don't think I've ever had this guava butter before. I hope it's like Texas Roadhouse butter. I really like the rolls at Texas Roadhouse. It's delicious. Wow, very sweet. And why am I using a fork to spread my butter? And like I said, for an additional $10, you get some coconut shrimp. Looks like you get 6 shrimp for $10. They just turned down the lights and made it really dark in here for some reason. Or maybe the sunset just disappeared. That was a really nice sunset, but we gotta get into this coconut shrimp. Look at that. I love a good meat coconut shrimp. Enough of the coconut shrimp. The main event has come, and take a look at the meats. You get the beef right here, you get chicken, you get the pork, and I like how they put all of the sauces on the side. And then here's the baked whitefish, and this is all you care to enjoy. And then they also have the sides. So you get some plantains, some vegetables, and some rice and beans. And it all looks good, so I'm gonna dive on in. I think I'm gonna start with the chicken, and you can just add the sauce to it. I don't know what the chicken goes with. Maybe this chutney? They have like pineapple chutney. It looks a little spicy, so I'm gonna put a little chutney on my chicken. Chutney on my chicken. I like the way that sounds. So here we go. Now I think I'm gonna try some of this beef. And the beef is like very finely shredded. Look at that. I'm gonna add a little bit of this sauce onto it. Just a little bit, because I think it's a little spicy. I'm gonna take some off there actually. There we go. That's the perfect amount. Overall, everything is pretty delicious, but I think my favorite is the mojo pork. I would have to say that the beef is probably my second favorite. I like it all though, and I'm actually surprised at how much I like the sauces. I'm definitely starting to feel a little full. It might be because of all the dinner rolls, but I want to save room for the bread pudding when it comes out, because I'll eat extra of the bread pudding. Look at that caramel pour right there. Honestly, I think it's better than Ohana.
Come on.
Yep.
Oh, and the presentation is calorie-free as well, sugar-free.
Calorie-free and sugar-free. The bread pudding came out so quick, and I love that he poured the caramel on top of it. It looks so good. I'm diving right on. I'm not even holding back. Hands down the best thing at this restaurant, and I'll probably eat all of it. Don't you worry, I'm not leaving any of that behind. It is much too good. I think that what makes it different than Ohana, I think there's more pineapple on it, and also coconut. I don't know if there's coconut at the one at Ohana. Well, now we are back in the room. I enjoyed Sebastian's, but I ate too much bread pudding, and I feel very sleepy and tired. So I think I'm gonna call it a night for now, and I'm gonna wake up in the morning, and I'm gonna take the Skyliner over to the other side of the resort, grab a little breakfast at Spyglass Grill, and continue hanging out at the resort and just enjoying the time. I'm loving it here, though. I've really been just kind of hanging out and chilling. So I guess we'll see you in the morning. See you in the morning. And good morning from the islands. I had a good night's sleep last night, and I woke up with the sound of Caribbean music playing from my TV, and now I want to go get some breakfast. And there's only one other place we haven't eaten yet at the resort itself, and that is Spyglass Grill, which is down here in Trinidad. And like I mentioned, we're staying up here in Aruba, so I thought it would be probably the fastest way is to take the Skyliner down to this Skyliner station and then get off and go to Spyglass Grill instead of walking. So I think we're gonna go get some breakfast and a Skyliner ride. It really is a beautiful morning, and I enjoyed my night here at Caribbean Beach. The only thing I didn't like about the room is the air conditioning was very loud. Earlier, I was telling you guys that I loved the AC because it was so cold, but I didn't realize that it was that loud when you were sleeping. And I'm one of those people that I usually like to sleep with no sound on. I don't like to leave the TV on. So the AC kept me up a little bit, but I still enjoyed my time here. And now, like I said, I think we're gonna take the Skyliner and go get some breakfast at Spyglass Grill. This is one of the other quick service locations, but it's all the way on the other side of the resort. That's why I think it's best to, take the Skyline for a little ride. It's good to point out the Skyliner opens at 7:30 a.m. So if you want to get breakfast earlier, you gotta wait a little bit. The best part of waking up is riding the Skyliner. Ooh, here we go. And this is a good way to show off all of the resort. We're staying over there, actually.
Welcome aboard the Disney Skyliner at Disney's Riviera Resort, a Disney vacation club. If you are just joining us, we are on our way to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort with connecting flights to Disney's Hollywood Studios, Disney's Pop Century Resort, and Disney's Art of Animation Resort. Say bon voyage to the Mediterranean. We are about to go island hopping at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort.
It feels so cool in here. Got the windows open, just sitting back, relaxing. The only thing I'm missing is a coffee, which I'm going to get right now. Once I got off the Skyliner, I realized that they have a Joffrey's at the Skyliner station. So I'd rather get my coffee now and walk with it. We do still have a little bit of a walk to get over to the other restaurant. Might as well get a little caffeine in me. I got my iced coffee from Joffrey's, and I was gonna walk with it, but I found this nice little bench here, and I wanted to sip and enjoy my coffee with the view of the Skyliner and the lake. It's very cozy. I love mornings at Disney resorts. I need the coffee. Just take a look at how peaceful this is, though. Kind of reminds me of Pop Century, which is literally right over there. And that's the Skyliner station that we just got off of. We basically took the Skyliner completely over Caribbean Beach Resort. But like I said, it's a good way to get from A to B. And if you wanted to, you can just take the Skyliner to Pop Century, Art of Animation, and then Hollywood Studios is that way. The one that we got on, that's the one that takes you to Epcot. But it's very peaceful. Nice morning here in the islands. Morning in the islands. You know, I always reflect and think back on things when I'm drinking my coffee by a lake. And it's kind of crazy that I've never stayed here before. I remember coming here, like to this restaurant that we're about to go, Spyglass Grill. I remember coming here like 5-6 years ago to make a video when it first opened. And I remember covering all of the construction here and just like keeping everybody updated on what's going on. And that was just me being a local. I love hanging out at the resorts and going out out and dining at the restaurants. And it's like I said, it really shocks me that I never stayed here. I mean, back then, you know, this was way out of my price range. Like, you know what I mean? I really couldn't afford to stay here. I was just lucky enough to be able to come visit and check out the food spots. And now here I am drinking my coffee, staring out at the beautiful lake, and about to go eat at Spyglass Grill. But I did notice, and this is kind of something that I was like, wait a second. I looked at the menu and they don't have Mickey waffles over here. And I was like, oh, that's like a tradition. I got to get Mickey waffles when I'm staying at a Disney resort. So we'll see what they have on the menu. I think they have like a Cuban sandwich and some other breakfast things. And I'm excited to try it out. I haven't been here probably since I made that video that it was opening. And that's kind of crazy. That's what made me think of it. And here it is, the Spyglass Grill, nestled right on the lake. And it has some outside seating, and they do serve food here. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's like a quick service location. They also have snacks and fountain beverage station, so that's good if you got the refillable mug. But I'm here for breakfast. Like I said, no Mickey waffles. They have a breakfast burrito, a breakfast Cuban sandwich, and instead I got a steel-cut oatmeal, a cinnamon roll, a Mickey-shaped cinnamon roll, and some breakfast potatoes. I made my own breakfast. Look at how delicious this Mickey cinnamon roll looks. It's got that glaze to it. It had my eyes glazed over. And then I got a side of breakfast potatoes. And I love that these are different than like normal potato barrels. These are actual breakfast potatoes. And then some steel-cut oatmeal. And I think it comes with craisins, brown sugar. I love steel-cut oatmeal. But a nice little breakfast. A nice little view too. It's really cozy in here. I love that they have outdoor seating, some patio furniture, so it's not like a quick service. It's, you know, very relaxing. Might as well dive on into the Mickey cinnamon roll. Ears first. Look at the inside of this Mickey cinnamon roll. So many cool layers, and it's very airy. Very delicious. This might be one of the best cinnamon rolls I've ever had. Honestly, usually they're kind of like I would say dry, but this is like very, very good. And these breakfast potatoes are amazing. I wish they had a little pepper and onion inside them and they'd be like potatoes O'Brien. Very, very delicious. Enough of the breakfast business. It's time to start making our way back to our room. I was going to take the Skyliner back, but I figured maybe I would just take the walk and see which one was better. I mean, we are pretty far away, like I said. Right here is Spyglass Grill. I already crossed over the bridge, so we have to go from here to here. And that's exactly the Skyliner path. That's why I took it over here. But it just shows you how massive this resort. Can you imagine if you're like at this one all the way down here? You would be so far away from Old Port Royale. That's where all the dining is. You'd have to take a bus or at least a 10-15 minute walk. I could use the walk, especially after that gigantic Mickey cinnamon roll, which was delicious, and I liked the oatmeal too. But probably the best thing was those potatoes. I don't know. I just, you know, you ever try something like I'm used to Disney's French fries and I'm used to Disney's potatoes, but those ones were different. I've never had them anywhere else. Let me know if you've seen them at any of the other resorts. It is a cozy walk though. Right on the other side, I don't know what section of the resort that is. I know I can see the sandcastle pool, and I think this is Jamaica with the yellow buildings. Yeah, these are Jamaica. So, oh, I can see the island right in the middle of the lake there. Castaway Cay, or no, Caribbean Cay. I keep on wanting to say Castaway. And just like that, we have made it back to our room. It was a shorter walk. Like, it took less time to actually walk here, but it was so hot out. I think I would take the Skyliner any day. And like, honestly, it was only like, I would say I clocked it probably 10 minutes, about a 10-minute walk from one side of the resort to the other side, because you're not going around anything, you're cutting straight through. But I still rather do the Skyliner. But overall, I had a great stay. Now it's time to pack up and check out. Only here for one day, and checkout's at 11. It's already 9:45, so almost that time. But I enjoyed my stay, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I enjoyed making it. So anywho's, I guess we'll see you next time. Bye.